These are banned books that made their authors more money than most bestsellers ever dream of. And it's happening because of a psychological principle that censors never seem to learn. When the McMinn County School Board in Tennessee voted to remove mouse from their 8th grade curriculum on January 10, 2022, they probably thought they were protecting students from inappropriate content. What they actually did was hand Art Spiegelman a marketing campaign worth millions. Within days of the ban going public, his Pulitzer Prize-winning graphic novel about the Holocaust shot to #1 on Amazon's bestseller list. Sales spiked 750% practically overnight. A book that hadn't cracked the top 1,000 before the controversy suddenly became the most sought-after title in America. This isn't just a feel-good story about free speech triumphing over censorship. This is about cold, hard economics and a phenomenon that's reshaping the publishing industry in ways nobody anticipated. When you ban a book in 2025, you don't silence it, you turn it into a bestseller. The numbers are staggering. Recent academic research found that banned books grow in circulation by an average of 12% compared to similar non-banned titles. But that's just the baseline. When a ban becomes a media sensation, the sales explosion can be astronomical. Independent booksellers report that after a high-profile removal, challenged books see sales surge an average of 300% within 30 days. For some titles, it's far higher than that. Take Maya Kobabe's Genderqueer, a graphic memoir that holds the Guinness World Record for Most Banned Book of the Year. The original print run was just 5,000 copies when it was published in 2019. Nobody expected it to become a cultural lightning rod, but as school boards across the country started challenging it, something remarkable happened. The book is now on its 5th printing, with a new hardcover edition released to meet soaring demand. Kobabe went from an unknown indie author to a household name, all because people tried to silence their work. This is the Streisand effect in action, the psychological phenomenon where attempts to hide or censor information actually increase public awareness of it. Named after Barbra Streisand's failed attempt to suppress photos of her Malibu home, the principle has been studied extensively by psychologists. They consistently find that people's desire for any material increases dramatically when they're told it's forbidden. It's human nature. Tell someone they can't have something, and suddenly they want it more than anything else. But here's where the economics get really interesting. These aren't just temporary sales bumps. Authors are building entire careers off the publicity that comes from being banned. George M. Johnson, whose memoir All Boys Aren't Blue was the most banned book of 2024, according to the American Library Association, has been remarkably candid about this. Johnson acknowledges that the bans have had a reverse effect, as many who never knew my book existed were able to find it. The controversy turned a New York Times bestseller into a global phenomenon, with speaking engagements, media appearances, and international sales that never would have materialized otherwise. The scale of what we're seeing is unprecedented. PEN America has documented nearly 23,000 book bans in public schools since 2021, a number never before seen in the lifetime of any living American. Between July 2023 and June 2024 alone, there were 10,046 documented instances of book banning, a 65% spike from the previous year. But here's the twist. Every one of those bans is potential rocket fuel for an author's career. The publishing industry has taken notice. All of the big 5 publishers, Hachette, HarperCollins, Macmillan, Penguin Random House, and Simon & Schuster, along with Sourcebooks, have filed lawsuits against book banning laws. They're not just fighting for free speech principles. They're protecting a business model that's proven remarkably lucrative. When Penguin Random House CEO Nihar Malavia talks about equitable access to a wide range of perspectives, he's also talking about market access for his company's titles. The irony deepens when you look at who's driving these bans. A Washington Post investigation found that just 11 people were responsible for about 60% of all U.S. book bans in 2023. In Florida alone, a Tampa Bay Times investigation revealed that 600 challenges were initiated by just 2 individuals. These aren't grassroots movements representing broad community sentiment. They're organized campaigns by small groups with outsized influence. And their efforts are backfiring spectacularly from an economic standpoint. Consider the broader market dynamics. Traditional book royalties typically range from 7.5% to 15% of the retail price for authors working with major publishers. For a $20 hardcover, that means an author might earn $2 to $3 per copy sold. When a book's sales increase by 300% or 750%, those numbers add up quickly. Art Spiegelman, who is already financially secure from his Pulitzer Prize win in 1992, likely earned more from the Tennessee controversy than from years of steady backlist sales. But the benefits extend beyond individual titles. Publishers report that controversial books create halo effects for their entire catalogs. Readers who discover an author through a banned book often go back and purchase their earlier works. Sarah J. Maas, who became the third most frequently banned author of the 2024-25 school year, according to PEN America, has seen her entire A Court of Thorns and Roses series benefit from the controversy surrounding her work. The digital marketplace has amplified these effects exponentially. Amazon's algorithm treats sudden spikes in sales and searches as signals to promote titles more aggressively. When Mouse hit #1, it stayed there because the platform kept recommending it to new customers. Social media adds another layer of viral marketing that censors from previous eras never had to contend with. A single tweet about a banned book can reach millions of people in hours. There's a demographic element to this phenomenon that's particularly striking. The books being banned in 2025 aren't random selections. They're predominantly works by and about marginalized communities. LGBTQ+ authors, writers of color, and books dealing with social justice themes make up the vast majority of challenged titles. These are often authors who struggle to find mainstream marketing budgets or media attention through traditional channels. Book banning has become their most effective promotional tool. Yet there's a troubling paradox at the heart of this success story. While banned books are selling better than ever, they're also becoming less accessible to their intended audiences. School libraries, which are often the primary way young people discover books independently, are precisely where these titles are being removed. As Maya Kobab pointed out, the people buying Genderqueer after hearing about it on NPR aren't necessarily the questioning teens who need it most. They're adults with disposable income and established book buying habits. The legal battles now raging in courts across the country will ultimately determine whether this economic model is sustainable. Florida's HB 1069, which created mechanisms for statewide book removal, represents a new escalation in censorship efforts. Utah and South Carolina have implemented similar no-read lists that could affect entire regional markets. If these policies spread, the resulting lawsuits and media attention could create even bigger windfalls for affected authors. Public opinion is shifting in favor of books. In 2022, 64% of American adults opposed removing books from school libraries. By January 2025, that number had jumped to 71%. This isn't just about free speech principles. It's about people recognizing that censorship doesn't work in a digital age, where information wants to be free. The ultimate irony is that in trying to silence diverse voices, censors have amplified them beyond their wildest dreams. They've turned unknown authors into millionaires, transformed niche titles into cultural phenomena, and created a generation of readers who actively seek out banned books as badges of intellectual courage. The economics of censorship in 2025 tell a simple story. When you try to ban a book, you're not suppressing it. You're giving it the greatest marketing campaign money can't buy.